Happy Sunday, everybody. This is Dan Hutner with the Healthy Forest Podcast, brought to you by Stewardship West. I have nobody to interview today, and I have no co host, so I'm going to play some pre recorded updates from our CEO, Kevin Zeman.
Kevin Zeman coming to you from Arnold, California here, our home base for Stewardship West on February 22nd, 2023, giving you all some updates of what's happening with Stewardship West out in the field, doing some work out in the woods, some planning opportunities we have going on, and even some hiring happening with Stewardship West. So very exciting times. I'm looking forward to catching you all up with what's happening in the world of our conservation progress right now. So thank you everyone for listening, and we'll get right to it. So in Colorado, we're working on the Jerome Miller Gulch. We've talked about Jerome Miller before, and we've added Miller Gulch, which is his neighbor. So we're just finishing up the Jerome Miller project. So wintertime, there's been some snow that comes on the ground and kind of comes and goes inside that Jerome Miller Gulch area. And luckily enough, we've been able to keep moving through that snow and melting. And so they've got about 90% completed of that drill mill. That's right outside of Bailey, Colorado, on the Pike San Isabel National Forest, partnering with the the Aurora Water and the Denver Water folks over there. And again, the Pike San Isabel National Forest is at the lead. So we really appreciate all of those folks helping and getting us those projects so we can get moving on them and get them done. So they're all water restoration type projects where we're thinning down the basal area. It's the number of stems per acre, trees per acre. So it's a little more fire safe for the communities around Bailey and whatnot. So that Jerome Miller is about done. So get to our website, folks, www.stewardshipwest.org, and check out what's been done. I hope if you're in the Colorado area, you go and check this thing out. And there's some, right now it's winter, but there's a lot of biking trails that go through this section of woods and well worth going and seeing. And it's really opened it up so you got good visuals so you can see different areas that maybe you haven't been able to see before. So that's really neat, and it's going to protect that area from any future wildfire action that they may have out there. Which there's a lot of burn scars already out there. If you've been around the Bailey area, you know there's been some older historic fires that have happened, and so hopefully this will help in the future. Not have fires. We know fires happen, and most of the time fires are good, but it will protect the communities and it'll protect the water for that Denver area. So that's really important. The other thing is we started that Miller Gulch project. The Miller Gulch project again is its little sister or brother right next to it, and that's another 1,000 plus acres, and we've just started on the restoration logging part of the Miller Gulch project. So BM Vegetation Management West, BM West is out there working. They're getting about 10 acres, 8 to 10 acres a day out there of cutting happening, and then behind them comes the skidders and they take those logs after they've been cut, skid them to a landing. Landings are where they place those logs and then they remove them. So, anyways, we're getting close to getting that first unit started and actually completed, which is really good. And we actually have a grant, obviously with a nonprofit. We're a 501(c)(3) with Stewardship West. We do a lot of grant work inside these agreements. So we were lucky enough to get a grant to help us start this Miller Gulch project, and we'll do some catch up with that later on down the road next month, probably with some folks out in the field talking about that grant and how we're getting that accomplished. But for now, just so you know, it is some outside money helping us get this started, and they're just about completed with it, so that's really cool. So we'll do a little more education on that. It's called a co-swap grant. There's a lot of acronyms in our world, but we'll address that once we get closer to having that finished. But it is really neat that we can have different, I like to call them colors of money that get this work done on the ground. So that color of money is helping us get this project started with Jerome or with Miller Gulch, and then we'll continue forth using the other funds we have to get the rest of this completed. And we are using a lot of the infrastructure funds. You hear a lot about the infrastructure funds right now on the news and kind of all over the place. But so this is the infrastructure funds. they did do a nice piece for Stewardship West nationally with the U.S. Forest Service on their website. I don't have that exactly on me right now, but maybe Dan and Mike, you can follow up with that. But yeah, that night that piece that they put out was really cool about what we're doing there in the Jerome Miller Gulch area. A good read. So we're using those funds to continue the implementation work through this Miller Gulch, and then we have, of course, like I said, nonprofit. We're going after other grants. We do have a couple other grants we've went after. We haven't heard back on those specifically yet. So that's the Jerome Miller Gulch. Stan Baker and Dandy Pollock are doing the QC, the quality control out there on the daily. They're doing a great job staying safe. Lots of weather coming in and out, so playing the game of when to travel, when not to travel to get out there. And then, of course, Vegetation Management West is out there every day doing the logging itself, and they've been just absolutely amazing on the ground, and they're being safe. And we meet actually once every week just to kind of talk, make sure everything's good as a team as a whole, and that seems to work out pretty dang good. So, and then of course Jen Baker, who's the head of operations, she's out there, um, in and out probably once a month, just checking on progress and working with BM West on making sure things get paid, and with the Forest Service and with our contractors. So thanks to her for all the hard work she's been doing there in Colorado. So lots of shout outs to a lot of people, but we're excited. It takes a village, right, to get all this stuff done. So very excited that we're at the place we're at, and look forward to more work and more updates with the Jerome Miller Gulch. Well, the second thing happening in Colorado right now is we're looking for a forestry tech and a forester to give us some help on the ground. So we're excited that we have that announcement out. It'll be on our website www.stewardshipwest.org, and it'll also be up at LinkedIn and Facebook and all those different sites to showcase our needs. So we'll start with forestry tech. So we're looking for a forestry tech that can help Stan Baker, who's our program manager on the ground in Colorado, and Dandy Pollock, who's our sale admin specialist that we have contracted out. So those two are very busy, and we're just trying to give them a hand with what's happening out there. So as a forester tech, you would be working with Stan and Dandy to do inspections. That would be going out on the ground, looking at what has been completed with the logging sides, as far as what's been cut, skid, decked, back to the landings, and make sure that they follow the correct procedures. Checking out how they're going to do that before they do any of that. They have to put in these skid trails, make sure they've been cleared by the U.S. Forest Service, to make sure that can happen, and then also just doing the day to day, making sure when units are getting close to completed, that they're looking like they're going to be completed in the fashion that we need them to. With us working on the U.S. Forest Service lands, there's a lot of policy, there's a lot of rules that we need to follow. So it's just the day to day to make sure those rules are being followed by our contractors and by us to make sure we're getting that done correctly. So it's just kind of again, quality control. It's just a fail-safe check system, and so we need people out there to do that. And we're looking for someone on the tech side to help with that. The other thing is we're looking for foresters. So forester is more of the lead side of the forestry side. So someone with a degree in forestry or has the knowledge on the ground to move forward with having the basis of being able to do layout skills, which is where you go out and flag, GPS, paint, um, that designate boundaries for new timber sales that we're potentially going to be looking at moving to in the future. We've got some ideas of where that will be. The Forest Service has given us some interested areas where we may be going, but we don't have those locked down yet. We're getting closer, but um, until then, this person would be helping with the Jerome Miller Gulch side, and then we'll be moving over to hopefully our new stomping grounds, which we'll talk about later. But anyways, the forester side is more the lead side where you have the knowledge base, like I said, a degree, and then be able to do the layout side and get ahead of this as well as the backside doing the kind of that quality control sale admin. So if you're interested, once again, go check us out. We'll have a job description, or the job description is out right now on our website. So we look forward to seeing everybody check that out and get your application if you're interested. Again, we're a 501c nonprofit, C3 nonprofit, so you're being a part of that team is always fun. And as a nonprofit, there's some really good benefits there. So just check us out. We'll put what all those benefits are on the announcement. So look forward to hopefully getting some new applications there. All right, the next thing I'd like to dive into is what we got going on here in California. So in California, since last time we chatted, we have started working a little more specifically up on the MODOC. I think we've talked before how we're partnering with the RCD up there, getting the Resource Conservation District, getting some work done in Northern California. We have expanded that out, and still with that assistance with the resource conservationist for the fall and the Pitt River RCD up north. But we're gonna kind of branch off as a partner with them, but as a lead. So we're really excited about that. And what we're gonna do is focus on power line restoration, road restoration, um, and WUI, Wildland Urban Interface is what WUI is. So basically, assisting with infrastructure areas that need cleaned and treated around communities and or community needed infrastructure, which is of course power. So we're going to start tackling a project up there, and we're going after some grant work, grant money with Cal Fire, and hopefully we'll have some success with that. It's still very preliminary, but we're getting a jump start on that. So it's we're still in the planning phases, and unlike the drill mill or Miller Gulch side of the world where we just can go out and start doing the implementing, in this case, we're going to work with the U.S. Forest Service, the Modoc National Forest, to put together a planning document. So NEPA, National Environmental Protection Act, was put together to make sure the public has say in what gets done on the ground. So what we do is we go out for commenting, and we put together scoping, which tells people what we're up to. We do proposed action of the action we're going to be doing, and then we get comments from the public, see if it all jives. If it all jives, then we're gonna get a signature from the Forest Service, and then we'll be able to start implementing. The biggest issue with doing the NEPA is we're probably a year, maybe 2 years out from implementing. There's a couple different NEPA ideas we have up there for doing this planning side. So if we may be able to do kind of a piecemeal, a shorter NEPA. It's called a categorical exclusion on part of this because it's on its own little side of the forest, and so we can do that separately and maybe start implementing on that. And then the bigger side is forest-wide power line, road, and this WUI restoration. That could take anywhere from a year to 2 years. It just depends how quickly we can get our team together and funding into place and move that down the road. So, anyways, it's very exciting. You'll probably hear a lot more about it from us in the near future, because once that has gone through the NEPA side, the planning side, there's going to be quite a bit of implementation that's going to be needed done. We're guessing somewhere around 10 to maybe 30,000 acres total up on the Modoc National Forest. So we'll see if it grows that big, but that's what the initial acres look like. So, anyways, that obviously that would be between 5 and 10 years worth of work up there doing the restoration work on those lines and roads and those WUI areas. So it's exciting because it'll definitely cement us up there on the Modoc National Forest, which if nobody has been up to the Modoc, you please go do it. It's middle of nowhere, kind of California, but it reminds me, I'm originally more of the Montana side, Colorado side of the world, but definitely reminds me of that. It's very rural, quiet, beautiful, big mountains, and there's a lot of nice flat, big trees up there too. So it's got a little of everything up there. So go check us out on our website as we keep updating that, and we'll kind of keep tabs on that project in the Modoc. All right, the final thing I'd like to talk about today is the work we're doing in the Lake Tahoe Basin area. So, to date, we have been up there. Oh man, Stewardship West has been assisting with the Nevada Energy side of the power lines. And it's mostly on the Nevada side, a little on California, but mostly the Nevada side of power line clearing, that forest restoration, clearing infrastructure work happening on the Nevada side, near the Tahoe area. And actually, now we're moving even more into the heart of Nevada, helping Nevada Energy with this infrastructure clearing, um, over by the Reno, and moving east. So, with the Humboldt Toyabe National Forest. So that's been exciting. So our updates basically are we're still helping working on some helicopter plans right now. So, and right now there's in California there's a lot of snow. There's more snow coming, and so can't do a whole lot. There's a lot of people watching the snow fall outside, and that's about it because there's upwards of 10 feet of snow in where we're working, and so we obviously can't get machines in there. It's too dangerous with this kind of snowpack that we're having this year, which we need. So that's really good. But it definitely quiets things down in the wintertime. But as we kind of are waiting, we're putting together these helicopter plans. So it's ideas of how we can get the timber out of those areas that are hard to reach, steep slopes, maybe no road access, whatever the case is, to remove those trees in those specific zones. So we're working on getting that dialed, and then we're also working on our foresters, Rob DeSoto and John Kiddishay, who are two foresters on the ground there. Thank you guys for all the hard work. Um, they're working on future plans of what we can go out and get laid out, which is ready for the 2023 year. Because as soon as the snow is gone, then Nevada Energy will get their contractor out there getting the work done on the ground, getting the logging done, getting the trees on the ground as soon as possible inside the corridors that have been cleared by the Humboldt Toyabe National Forest and the Lake Tahoe Basin Management Unit. So again, very exciting stuff. We got last year we ended up getting around what was it, like 200 acres completed, I believe, and those are linear acres, so it doesn't seem like as much as like what we're doing at the Jerome Mill or Miller Gulch. But since it's linear, you can't go out as wide, so longer units are harder to do because there's a lot more move in, move out costs, which means moving equipment in and out of different areas throughout the project area. Because it's so long, you got to move a lot more, and there's a lot more cost to that, and a lot more time it takes to do that. So they've been doing really good getting work done in there and getting this stuff situated for the 2023 field season. And we're excited to continue our support with Nevada Energy. It is under the umbrella of Ascent Environmental, and so we appreciate everything we from both those folks in our team with Nevada Energy and Ascent Environmental, and of course both Forest Services as well. The Lake Tahoe Basin Management Unit and the Humboldt Toyabe National Forest. So always a big shout out to our partners helping us get this work done on the ground to get these areas restored and safer for communities, because that's really what our push is right now with Stewardship West. And I guess I'll end it with that. Is we're gonna keep on pushing hard to get communities throughout the western United States clean, cleared, and safe for the public. So not only will it be, beautiful to see, and it's nice, clean, and clear when these are done, and it's, they do look really good, but it's a safety thing for us, our board, um, and our employees and directors, all of us. We strive to get our forests safer for us as people, and safer for the animals. It helps with animals as well, protects from larger catastrophic fires. Like I said earlier, we know there's going to be fires out there, and we're okay with that. But we want to make sure we're still protecting our communities when those fires do hit, so we can kind of well make it safe for all of us out there. So I appreciate everyone listening today. Mike and Dan, I'm going to hand it back to you. Again, everyone stay warm out there. I know there's a lot of winter storms coming through, and all parts of the country right now, not just out west, but it sounds like it's a little everywhere. So please, everyone, stay warm, stay safe, and we'll look forward to a month from now or so. We'll do another one. So thank you, everyone. Bye.
Well, everybody, that wraps it up for us today. If you have any questions regarding any of the updates that you've listened to today, you could email me at dan@stewardshipwest. Put questions in the subject. Otherwise, I will automatically delete it, assuming it's spam, and I will try to answer them on the next podcast. Thank you and have a great day.